Welcome back to Bahrain and the drivers' press conference. As you can see, we're joined now by Nikita Mazepin, Mick Schumacher and Yuki Tsunoda. Welcome, guys. Our rookies for 2021. Now, Mick, can we start with you? You're fresh out of the car. Your last chance to drive it prior to the first race. How was it?
It was good. It was really fun. Obviously enjoying driving. First day was unfortunately a bit short on mileage, but we really caught up in those 2 days with no issues. Got to do long runs, short runs, low fuel, high fuel, which was really good. So now I feel really good. I feel ready, and I'm looking forward to the weekend now.
And found your rhythm with the car?
Yeah, I have to say I feel comfortable. I feel like I can really feel the differences in the car that we make, and obviously, bring the feedback that we need to move forwards.
Okay, well, let's move on to your teammate, Nikita. How's it been for you so far?
Well, starting from the first day or let's say the first half day that we've had, the running went quite smooth for us. So, yeah, we were able to complete all the necessary running and the testing that we've planned originally. I obviously gathered some experience in the car that's Ferrari powered, so a little bit different to what I'm used to. But main thing is data gathering and getting settled into the car went well. And now I think that I'm getting to a level where I feel confident to go into my first race weekend. And it's really, really fun to drive these Formula 1 cars. They're really much faster than what I'm used to in the past.
Great stuff. Thank you, Nikita. And Yuki, similar sentiments from you, I would imagine. How's it gone so far?
Yeah, these 2 days, I think we have really good progress. It's for also the car and for myself driving. Yeah, also working with Pierre is really good. We always had a really similar feedback for the car, so for the team, it's easier to go step forward to make car better.
Fantastic. Well done. We've got lots of hands up on the virtual conference, so let's jump straight to that next. Let's start, please, with Dieter Renkin from Racing Lines. Dieter.
Thank you, Tom. Mick, obviously you're facing your first Grand Prix. Do you feel 100% prepared for this, or do you still have some sort of doubts that you still need to do some preparation? And then effectively the same question to all three of you, because you're all debutants.
No, definitely I feel ready. I feel confident. I think that, all the running that we have done in the last, pretty much 2 days have been very positive. We've learned how to drive in obviously cool conditions and in hot conditions, which gives us a lot of data to have a look at and obviously learn from. So yeah, I feel ready and I'm looking forward to it.
Nikita?
Yeah, I think this Bahrain last couple of days have been very different to what I'm used to over here. We've experienced every single condition that is available to take on the table apart from the rain. So in terms of knowledge of me as a rookie going into the first race, I think I've gathered as much as I possibly could have over the last 2 days, and I'm looking to get some more information today in the evening session.
Great stuff. And Yuki?
Also outside, after I prepared for me 4 days testing before this Bahrain, and already had a good confidence for controlling the car and also change the switches, structure. And for this Bahrain, it's easier to adapt to the car for 2021. Just have to do a lot of laps to have experience for this 2021 car. And yeah, for these 2 days, there was a couple of issues these 2 days, but well, this is the test 4, so it's good to have like this issue in the test rather than having in the real, next week's Bahrain or 2 weeks later. So yeah, at the moment it's having a good positive test for testing for these 2 days.
Thanks, Yuki. Let's go next, please, to Matthias Brunner from speedweek.com.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. Mick, after you finished your program, your test program, what is the aspect which impressed or surprised you most? Thank you.
Well, I think that really feeling the difference between the two tracks, so night track and day track, has been very impressive. Also feeling how the tires behave in those different conditions were very interesting for me. So I think, as Nikita mentioned, I think we've been able to drive, in most conditions, windy conditions, gusty conditions, which also is, another step closer to having driven in most conditions. And obviously, F1 cars in general are a bit more wind affected than F2 cars. So that's something which I had to learn on a new level, but definitely felt like I had the resources and had the knowledge to kind of really come around that.
Thank you. Let's go next to Luke Smith, please, from Autosport.
Thank you, Tom. A question for Yuki. Just 3 years ago, Yuki, you were preparing for a Formula 4 season, so your rise through the ranks has been really, really rapid. I just wanted to know, how have you found it sort of adjusting so quickly to a new series every single year, and how do you think that's going to put you in good shape ahead of your debut F1 season?
Yes, from 3 years ago, or 2 years ago, first time came to Europe in Formula 3. Like most of the track was first time, 4 tracks. But I think there was only 1 free practice and straight in qualifying. I have to perform well in qualifying to get a good points in the race. But in the beginning of the season for Formula 3, I struggled a bit to adapt to the track as soon as possible. So I couldn't focus much to the car setup and also driving side. So but that hard situation makes better for the adapting well, especially in Formula 2. That experience in Formula 3 was really useful. So also these 2 years, like Formula 2, Formula 3s, that good adapting to the car experience already useful for this Formula 1, especially in the beginning of the season. So definitely that helps, but also still a lot of things to learn. So I can't expect what's gonna happen in the Bahrain, first round Bahrain, but just looking forward to it.
Yuki, it's been a very fast rise through the ranks for you. How's your promotion to Formula 1 been received back home in Japan?
I got lots of messages especially from Japanese, like social media. So I knew already how they feel or reacting to me, especially like there was no 7 years from Japanese Formula 1 driver. So they're definitely exciting, and also I'm excited as well. I'm really looking forward, especially this year at Suzuka, to drive Formula in front of the Japanese fans. I'm really looking forward for Suzuka.
It's going to be a busy weekend for you. Let's go back to the video conference now and to Christian Nimmervoll, please, motorsport.com.
Thank you, Tom. Question to all 3 drivers. Both Haas and AlphaTauri have completely new engines for this season, or more or less new engines for this season. From everything your engineers are telling you, because I don't think you can compare so well since you haven't driven both engines that much, but from everything your engineers are telling you, how much of a step forward do you think Ferrari and Honda have made on the engine front?
Nikita, let's start with you.
Based on what I've heard, and obviously based on what I'm hoping, is that the engine is a step forward. From what I know, there's not going to be very much development on the car this year, so engine is essentially our only thing that we're going to be looking at, and it should be very good, I hope.
Anything to add on the Ferrari, Mick?
I think we summed it up pretty well.
And Yuki?
There was definitely a good step from last year. Already seeing from data, like I already driven AT01 and TR14 with the previous cars, and already feel good step, especially top speed. I can't say how much, but there was definitely a good step from last year.
Great, thank you. Let's go next to Scott Mitchell, please, from The Race.
Thank you, Tom. It's a question for Yuki, please. Yuki, the issues that you've had so far in the test, have they just been small, annoying issues that have just sort of cost you a small amount of track time, or is there anything that they've really prevented you from learning in this test?
First day was quite big issue, which was the fuel tank system, and have to stop the session. Just I did 37 laps in first day, and yesterday was also not from the engine, but it was pedals and a little bit also engine when I was doing push laps. So there was a couple of issues also yesterday, but and also having a little bit, to be honest, stressed about that. But like I say, this is a test for the pedals. I'm having a very special pedal kit, which compared to Pierre is a lot of difference for the height. So, so that's why they're trying to make a really different way for the pedals, and that's why I'm having an issue yesterday. But I already heard from mechanics today, and we already had a good step for making make it strong. And we'll see. I see what's going to happen this afternoon.
Yuki, staying with you, we've had an email question in from Louis Decker at NOS, and he says, your jump to Formula One more or less reminds us of Max Verstappen's rookie year at Toro Rosso. What do you remember of that season, 2016, where Carlos and Max started their Formula One career in your current team? Did you watch those Grand Prix? So 2015 was Max's first. What do you remember of that?
To be honest, I don't really remember, but I remember that Max, I think, debuted Formula One in Suzuka, I think. And I just saw free practice, and I think there was another thing on that race day, so I couldn't see the race. But definitely, I think Max performed really, really strong from the rookie year. So, hope I can have it like that rookie season this year.
Thanks, Yuki. Let's go back to the video conference and to Alan Baldwin, please, from Reuters.
Yeah, hi. It's a question for Mick, and I apologise for it being a slightly negative question, but we saw George Russell win the F2 title and then come into Formula One, and it took him the best part of 2 years to score any points, and he still hasn't scored any points for his actual team. Are you prepared for that level of frustration at a team that only won 3 points last year? And also, the wider world has quite an expectation of the Schumacher name, so how do you manage those expectations?
Well, at the end, obviously, we want to, everybody in the team is very motivated, and I think that's really what gives also us the opportunity to really push every single individual in the team to try and, get as far forwards as we can. And I feel the motivation, I feel the passion for the sport, which is really nice. And obviously, I cannot tell what is going to happen this season, but I know that I will obviously do everything in my toolbox to really get it up in front and hopefully get some points. At the moment, obviously, just trying to learn and trying to build, and then hopefully for Bahrain we already have a clear picture, and then obviously we'll gather more experience as the year progresses.
Thanks, Mick. We've got time for one more question, and we'll give it to Chris Medland, please, from Racer.
Thanks, Tom. It's a question for Yuki. Yuki, you've got a strong benchmark of a teammate in Pierre who's very experienced. Because it's a short testing schedule, how much have you been looking at what he does and trying to learn from Pierre? And has he been helping you trying to get up to speed with the new car?
Pierre definitely helps me, especially time management in race. And also Formula One wind effect is quite huge. And first session in Bahrain, first day I struggled a little bit to using the wings to make the car more faster. So Pierre helped me a lot of things, but also other side is always driving is different time, so it's hard to compare for the driving and the pace. But for example, the time management, like I said, time management in the wind side, he definitely helps me, and now at the moment I'm learning for that.
Thank you, Yuki. Thanks to all three of you. That's all we've got time for now. Thank you. Cheers.